And it's official, Boris Johnson will be Britain's new Prime Minister, succeeding the outgoing Theresa May and comfortably beating Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. But the victory could be short-lived if he fails to solve the Brexit crisis. Mr. Johnson has pledged to withdraw Britain from the European Union with or without a deal by October the 31st. It's raised concerns he will push for an exit without a sound economic plan in place. Britain is also battling a slowing economy and sluggish global headwinds. But the former mayor of London has also promised tax cuts and higher spending in a bid to end austerity. Brexit uncertainty hitting the pound ahead of the election results. It fell to as low as $1.24, dangerously close to the 27-month low it reached last week. And you can see losses are priced at $1.24 to the greenback. The FTSE 100 seeing some modest gains in early afternoon trade. It's up 0.7%. Now, for more on the story, we're joined by James Crabtree, Associate Professor in Practice from the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. He joins us live from Mumbai. James, the big question now about Mr. Johnson, about can he deliver Brexit? How do you think he plans to do that?
Well, I think he's going to have a good crack at it. I mean, he's one of the weakest new prime ministers Britain has ever had. He has virtually no Commons majority, and the task in front of him is very difficult. He's going to go to Brussels and try and negotiate some material change to the old agreement and try and get that past the House of Commons, but he's got a job on his hands because very few, or rather he has a very slender majority, and so that's why people have begun to talk about the prospect of an imminent general election.
And do you think that that's the likely outcome from today?
I think it's going to be very difficult for him to pass another agreement simply because I'm not sure the European Union is going to compromise in any way that will allow him to change the politics on the ground. Now, then the question is, can he win another general election? It's a huge risk because if he decides to call one soon, he could lose. And so there is a scenario in which he decides, well, I can't get what I want out of the Europeans, and I'm worried about losing elections, so maybe I'll try a second referendum instead.
That does paint a very bleak picture if it was to go down that route. How is his sort of approach to Britain's economy going to be looking, as we're sort of talking more on the business aspect? He has talked about how he wants to sort of take Britain out of all this sort of austerity.
I think he's going to try and strike a note of optimism during the campaign for a supposedly fiscally responsible party. Both he and Jeremy Hunt, the defeated candidate, made a raft of spending pledges. He's going to bring in a new Chancellor of the Exchequer because Philip Hammond, the incumbent Chancellor, has said he's going to resign. And so I think there will be a loosening of the fiscal screws, and they won't be talking about austerity anymore. But in the end, the global economic situation isn't that great, and uncertainty over Brexit means investment in Britain is going down. So again, he has a very difficult task ahead of him.
And just very quickly, James, is there any reason to be optimistic about what's transpired today with Boris Johnson coming into power?
Well, as I say, I mean, it is possible that a funny mixture of Boris's charm and exhaustion amongst the British political class means that he will be able to go to Brussels, get some cosmetic deal, and then just get it over the line, basically trying to do what Theresa May didn't fail to do 3 times, and on 4th time lucky, you get it over the line. That, I think, is the reason for optimism. It's just possible that might work.
All right, many thanks for your thoughts this evening. James Crabtree, Associate Professor in Practice from the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy.